Once upon a time there was a king, a tall, strong and wise king. The king owned a cow, a black and white cow. The cow was walking in a meadow. The meadow was big and green, with lots of grass and pretty flowers, and had a fence around it, much like a meadow as you know it. However, there was one difference. The meadow was a multidimensional meadow. That meant that the cow could choose between any piece of meadow at any moment. The cow moved itself through space and time and chose the reality that suited him best. Not just the reality outside of him, but also the reality of himself. So he didn't just choose the circumstances like grass, the sunshine, flowers, fence or no fence, but he also chose his state of being, his emotional state, his mental state. Not only could he change that by choosing the reality that he wished to experience, he could also redefine his own body. That meant he could make his skin appear younger, he could renew his pelt, make himself 10 years younger as it were, all without any effort. The king partially knew about the abilities of the cow, being that the cow sometimes disappeared. Of course, the cow didn't really disappear. He only disappeared from the field of view of the king. In other words, the reality of the king and the cow were a bit further apart. The king would speak of the magical cow that could disappear. In reality, from our perspective, this isn't all that magical because the cow didn't disappear. He purely did what he wanted to do himself, namely choosing the, in his eyes, right reality. We want to use this example because you are just like the cow, and in a sense, you're also just like the king. What manifests in your experience is an element from your own reality that you chose yourself. If you decide at a certain point that a certain element in your current experience isn't desirable anymore, is outdated, in need of replacement, then it's very simple. Switch to a different reality. This way, no unwanted things can show up in your reality that don't fit in with that current reality. Nothing is a coincidence. Nothing that doesn't fit in your reality can happen. As a first step to change, we wish for you that you embrace your current reality, that you accept that everything that in your eyes exists is an element of your current reality, is an element of the world map as you know it. Only after this embrace, this experience of peace, change is possible. Change by seeing it as it is now. Laugh at it. Be happy with its appearance. See what the unwanted experience means for you, what benefit it has for you. Thank the element for its appearance. Say goodbye to the experience, and after that, redefine your own reality to the desired form. Reality as you know it has formed itself in a certain way so that expansion is happening. Change is constant. The expansion causes a shift to another reality. Not a better reality, but a different reality. We could say that mental and emotional health comes forth from having the ability to quickly adapt from one reality to another. Succeeding in quickly adjusting your reality goes hand in hand with a healthy person. If you let the gap between what is desired and what is the current reality get too big, then sickness will occur, pain will occur, more and more unwanted elements will occur in the experience. This is the core of life on your planet. Health or sickness, life force or death. Both are choices that are determined by the alignment with yourself. The entire process of aligning with a new reality becomes 1,000 times more easy from the moment that you daily, and preferably at all times, are connected with what you call your highest self, also called the vortex or the soul or the light core. It doesn't matter what you call it. What matters is that you realize that the physical, mental, and emotional reality that you call your body and experience isn't the full core of your being here on Earth. By communicating with this other part of yourself, we would say the largest part of yourself, the transition from A to B, from reality B to C, from C to D, and so on, becomes a lot easier. That's why we recommend that more and more people learn the process of channeling, because through channeling, this core consciousness is being strengthened. The consciousness of the light in yourself. You don't necessarily have to do this through channeling. Meditation is also fine. Both deserve our recommendation. A simple meditation will do. Simply when you get up in the morning, welcome the rising sun and find a quiet place for yourself in the room. Experience your own presence. Welcome the totality of your current reality and see its perfection. Experience how much beauty there is in the world and let a feeling of abundance flow into you. This is the simple meditation that when you do this every morning, and it only has to take 1 or 2 minutes, will be a contribution to the growth of your core consciousness.